Welcome, guys, to another Dazzle's Discussions. You may not be able to see me today, but I do know you can't hear me. I apologize. I am doing Dazzle's Discussion live here in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. So you can just stare at the beautiful face of mine from my picture. But joining me tonight, per usual, is the one and only Carter Silkymittens Asselford. How you doing, buddy?
Hey Blake, hi guys, how's it going? We don't have any matches tonight, unfortunately, but you've got us, so that's the next best thing, right, Blake? I think that we can all agree that's pretty much the next best thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we got the show must go on, but we will get into that in a little bit of detail here. I'm actually skyping from my phone. The internet is so bad, actually, in Swift Current that I can't even run video on Skype on a laptop. So didn't bring my computer with me. So we're running this on the phone. So we're gonna make it work. But let's start right off the start here, guys. So tonight was supposed to be Lunatic Peace versus Sasquatch is unfortunately Sasquatch is not able to get their full roster here tonight. They will have the forfeit, giving Lunatic Peace the 2-0 with that forfeit. So what that does is actually gives them 3 points, giving them a total of 12 points. That puts them in third place, which means we have Malicious Intent at first place, 19 points. Viz Major in second at 15 points. Lunatic Peace in third at 12 points, and Argon 53 in fourth at 11 points. So there was a lot of possibility of tiebreakers between Fellowship of the Nerds and Revolution Death Squad and Lunatic Peace. But with Lunatic Peace taking a game off of his major, 2-0ing Revolution Death Squad and 2-0ing Sasquatches, give them enough points to really break all those tiebreakers. The catch is Argon 53 actually having to forfeit their spot at the finals, sadly, because they will not be able to have enough members to come to the finals. One of the stipulations of our league is that you must have an entire roster show up to the finals. Unfortunately, none of their subs or their top laner are able to make the finals, making them a little short. So that is very unfortunate for them. So that means our fifth place team, Fellowship of the Nerds, will be assuming that fourth place spot going into playoffs. So, Silky, why don't you give us a rundown of what the matchups will look like going into playoffs?
Well, Blake, before we get into that, I do want to also just throw out there, very sad day for us. I think we always want the teams to be able to come and play, and we don't like people getting in due to certain stipulations or teams not being able to play. But unfortunately, the rules are the rules. So I think Argon 53, love those guys. It was a fun time casting them and watching them this season. But unfortunately, can't make it. So unfortunately, they're out. But fortunately, Fellowship of the Nerds are going to live once again in the playoffs. They return, and in the semifinal match, let's get right into the matchups. The semifinal matchup that everyone's been waiting for, a rematch, kind of technically, from last year. Team Malicious Intent, the team formerly known as Vicious and Delicious, is going to be going up against Fellowship of the Nerds in the first semifinal, and that is going to take place on the Saturday. I believe that is the 14th of May. And the second semifinal is going to be Viz Major versus Lunatic Peace. That is going to be an exciting matchup as well, with those two teams going 1-1 just a couple days ago, Blake. It's shaping up to be a really fun Saturday come the 14th.
I am actually looking very forward to it. I mean, that's the other thing is I feel like the live finals bring a little more of an aspect to it. I mean, obviously they're not sitting in front of a crowd of thousands of people, but hey, you're still playing live and you can still get those jitters being there, not at your own, like not in your own comfort space. You're kind of taken out of your own comfort zone, put into a little bit of a different spot. But yeah, it will be exciting. That means that Saturday we will have two really great best of threes, and then the third, fourth place match also will be on that Saturday. So a potential of 9 games going forward. And I mean, I feel like we have a really good setup so far for the finals. Like you were saying, everyone's anticipated matchup of TMI versus Fellowship of the Nerds. I mean, TMI did take the 2-0 against them the other week. And then we have Lunatic Peace versus VM, sorry. And they split that series 1-1 2 days ago. So two very close series. And I guess let's just break them down first of all. Why don't we do that? So, which series do you want to start with, Silky? Which one would you like to break down first?
Which one would I like to break down? It's really a tough one here. I think I will try and take a hold of the Viz Major versus Lunatic Peace matchup. I think it's going to be actually more of the hype one, but there's stipulations for the other one too. I think that you'll be able to crunch into that one pretty good. But Viz Major versus Lunatic Peace, what can I say about these two teams? Lunatic Peace coming back, the redemption team. Who would have thought that a team that did not crack the top 8 coming into qualifiers, and all of a sudden they get this second chance, they get the call back. They auditioned, they got sent home, but they got the call back here, and they made the playoffs. That is huge. They actually made it into the third place spot. They got a lot more points than all these other teams did over the weeks, and they kind of ran the gauntlet this week and pretty much swept the board. I believe their final score was 5-1. So that's so exciting. Lunatic Peace, just an up and coming, raw talent team. It seems like they have great cohesion. And then on the other side of the coin, Blake, we've got Viz Major. This is one of the powerhouses too. I think kind of the kings of SKL have been Viz Major and Vicious and Delicious / TMI the last 2 seasons. The top 2 teams both seasons coming into playoffs here. Viz Major, what can I say? Their jungler 4 is an absolute beast. That guy does work. And then the rest of the map, they kind of follow suit. Taeyong in the mid lane. You've got Panda in the top lane as well, and then Devmaster and Pulsus in the bot lane. It's just such a great matchup. It's looking like it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a really, really close matchup, probably a little bit closer than the other matchup. These two teams, they went 1-1. I think Lunatic Peace catches their stride and is able to shut down 4. I think they're going to have success. That's kind of my rough overview for the matchup. We could be sitting here for hours talking about the possibilities for this one, but that's my take on the matchup of Lunatic Peace versus Viz Major. Blake, I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to let me know what your thoughts are about Malicious Intent and Fellowship of the Nerds.
All right. Well, okay. One thing I kind of want to touch on that series real quick here.
Sure, man.
We also do have to take into consideration Viz Major using a substitute in that mid lane for that 1-1 split, and I don't really know if that's going to make the biggest difference. We did see Cozy coming in for Taeyong. I mean, Taeyong being that strong laner, I think that might also have to. But they did throw that lead quite a bit, so that should be a very close series. I gotta completely be with you there. So I'll look at the TMI series. I'll break it down, and then we're gonna give our predictions for each series. Sound fair?
Sounds good to me, man.
All right, so I mean, we'll look at TMI first. TMI coming out of this season with a damn near perfect record, really only dropping one game in total. The only game they dropped was to Viz Major, and that one game we saw was quite one-sided, definitely in the favor of Viz Major.
Yeah.
They grabbed that bull by the horns and they went with it, man. Like almost a perfect game, only having 2 deaths, not losing any turrets or objectives. Looked like a very clean game, but the game before was not quite so clean. I mean, it was very much in the favor of Viz Major at first, and then TMI definitely pulled themselves back in. So that was really the only contest they've seen. Every other game during the season, I don't think there was anything too close, except for the game against Lunatic Peace, I believe, where they ended up stealing the Dragon and the Baron from that Ezreal ult. Besides that, they pretty much dominated a lot of their series. So coming in, they should have their full roster back. I know Poof had subbed in a few times, but should be back at the full roster with Help Me in the Jungle. And if anything, I feel like Help Me is one of the weaker spots of TMI. Not saying that they are a weak team by anything, but I would say out of the whole team, that is the weakest spot. But I mean, if you're looking at it, they are the strongest team. So being the weakest part of a strongest team, not really calling them out at all,
Yeah.
just saying that's my opinion. So that's definitely the part where I feel like they can be abused. And if they take advantage of that jungle presence and kind of push Help Me out, could affect some of the lanes. So going to be looking for that in my opinion. I feel like they should be looking very good going into this series, though, because their opponent, Fellowship of the Nerds, who we'll look at now, very inconsistent this season. I mean,
Yeah.
the end of last season, they looked so good. They were really, like, once again, the really only ones to take a really good games off of Vicious and Delicious last year. We saw that semifinal matchup. Like, no offense to Viz Major, but I gotta say that semifinal matchup last season, by far the best series we had in all of SKL this far. The game's so close and just very nitty gritty and just down to the wire. Excitement throughout all the games. But this season, they haven't quite hit their stride. They've had a lot of trouble with roster issues. Hopefully, they will have Jay Frazier at the finals. Hopefully, he'll be able to make it down here. But even with Jay Frazier, they've looked a little lost. But maybe towards playoff times, they might be able to pull the TSM and pull it together and have that TSM playoff buff apply to the Fellowship of the Nerds. But both good. Been in a bit of a spot. He's been kind of getting some target bans, constantly having that Graves banned against him. That's where I really think it's going to be important. If get Bosgood on something going in the jungle and really pressure Help Me, and then see if the lanes can go from there. The bot lane of Fellowship of the Nerds, definitely the most consistent part of their team. That's where I'm going to be looking to do it. As far as the mid lane matchup, TSM Never Lucky been pretty solid in that mid lane. He's been able to pull out a ton of different picks, very flexible there. And then going up to the top lane, Similodon just been a beast throughout 2 seasons. Not sure if Harabo can really take the matchup to Similodon. Maybe be able to pull it close, but that guy's been a monster. Got to give the advantage to TMI. So, Silky, predictions. I'll start with this series.
Okay.
I personally feel Fellowship of the Nerds, I got to give to them. I think this will be, they can pull it together. They've got 2 weeks. They've had a week already to pull it together. They have another 2 weeks to really define their play. I think they could hit their stride, pull it together, and at least give us one good game to pull it out. But in the end, I think TMI is going to come out on top. They've been so strong this season. They've been very dominant, shown why with their flexibility. They're very smart pick and ban phases. I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to give Fellowship of the Nerds a little bit of the advantage. I think it will be that 2-1 for TMI.
The 2-1 for TMI. That's a pretty good prediction, Dazaninator. And you want to know why it's so good? Because I have the exact same prediction, man.
Hey, there we go.
The spoiler before I even break it down here. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2-1 for Viz Major. I think we're just gonna, or sorry, malicious intent rather. Sorry. I think this one is going to be pretty much a repeat of last year. We've got a really strong team in Team Malicious Intent, and then we've kind of got the underdogs, Fellowship of the Nerds. That's the exact same situation we saw last year, and all of a sudden it was like a brand new Fellowship of the Nerds. They were playing some of the best League of Legends that we had ever seen, some of the most hyped, close games. It was so amazing just to watch. My heart was beating, even though I was not casting. I could hear my heart beating just walking around. I was pacing back and forth. I was walking into the players' areas, walking back to the casters area. Back, I was having the time of my goddamn life, and I hope that we get the same kind of series. I think it's a little bit of a bold prediction actually for us to say 2-1. I think just based on the facts. Team Malicious 10 flawless. Fellowship of the Nerds very inconsistent. I sort of disagree with you for Fellowship of the Nerds. I think actually their bot lane has been some of their more inconsistent players. Just for Baby Trog. Baby Trog, I love the guy to death, and he's one of their top carries, but he's also been just like nowhere to be seen. I think Chawsgood is the backbone. I think he's very, very consistent no matter what he's playing. Usually plays Bard if it gets through. I think that guy is one of the most underrated players in the league, and I think he really is a driving force for that team. I think they all need to be firing on all cylinders to take a game off Team I, but I believe in the heart of hearts they're going to do it. So 2-1 TMI over Fellowship of the Nerds. Fellowship of the Nerds just not that good, unfortunately.
Okay, I can definitely agree with you there. I mean, stats definitely do not lie. That might be a little bold there, but looking on the other side, let's go for predictions for Viz Major Lunatic Peace. Oh my, yeah, I said it right. Okay, good. I did say it right. I thought
Lunatic,
I
or don't
screwed.
you mean a lunatic piece?
Yeah, all right, easy there, Silky. But
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
so going back to this, we're gonna look back at this series. Like we said, we did just see this matchup 2 days ago, and I casted it. They did split 1-1, but I mean, Viz Major kind of threw that first game, but the second game, once again, very dominant, very much on the side of Viz Major. And when they show up, they absolutely crush. I mean, when they showed up against TMI last week, that second game was very demanding. They had a very good early lead against TMI early on, ended up kind of slowly letting that game slide. So they've been trying their best, but they have always a very good early game. Much credit to 4-2 for pulling that out. But when they show up and they're on their game, they dominate. And I mean, Lunatic Peace has had a great run so far, but in a best of three scenario, I don't know if they can pull out the win against Viz Major. But with seeing how Viz Major has a tendency to, get those early leads and kind of throw them, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say 2-0 Viz Major, actually. I think that 4-2, when it comes to playoffs, he's going to tighten up that ship. It kind of seems like he's a bit of the shot caller. He's kind of the
Yeah.
one that pulls the team together. And when they have Taeyong in that mid lane, I don't think there will be as many mistakes. He's very dominant in the lane, wins quite a bit. And I'm definitely going to give the 2-0 to Viz Major. I think they're going to show up. But I think they will be very close games. I think Lunatic Peace is not a team to just cast away and say, all right, it's just going to be a clean wash. But I think they will show up. It will be close games, but I think it's in the end, it's going to be 2-0 Viz Major.
I'm a little on the fence about this one, Dazaninator here. How do
See,
I want to go with this one? I don't want to just I don't. I'm not gonna. I know I'm not copying your predictions, but you know what? It's boring to just share the same predictions. So I'm gonna be really bold here and say it's gonna be 2-1 for Viz Major. I think I agree with you there. Our lunatic pieces looked really good, but they're kind of a little bit predictable. I found them to be in their playstyle. I think the last Uter's champion pool has not really been tested. I don't know that he's actually a natural mid laner, so he's kind of falling back to this same pick that he likes to play Corki pretty much every time. When that's banned or they want to go a different direction, he just plays one or two other champions here. And when he's on those other champions, he's not, he's got the highest KDA on the team, actually 4.3, except for their substitute who only played one game. But I think with the lunatic piece, I think really their driving force has actually been their top laner, Adiash. But the same kind of trap with the last leader, he kind of has only been playing these really tanky top laners. He's been playing Scions, the Maokais, the tanks of the meta, and I think I just don't know if they've been tested. Viz Major is absolute beast metaphor, or his name is 4 now. he's a monster. Now, unless they can shut him down, I think that it's going to be a quick series. But I'm going to be bold. I say Lunatic Beast pulls it all together as a complete unit. They get a good pick ban. I think they can actually outdraft Vismajor. I think that's maybe where Vismajor has lacked in the past. Sorry, I'm stiffly mittens here. But yeah, it's all gonna fall into place for them to take a game off. I think it'll happen. One game, 2-1 Vismajor though.
All right, and I mean, I don't think it's fair to even look at the final and be like, okay, what? So, oh, okay, you know what? You know what? All right, we're gonna do hypothetical here. All right, hypothetical. We both agree on who we think is gonna be in the final. Then we agree it's gonna be a TMI VM final.
Yes.
All right, so we're saying it's gonna be TMI VM final. Let's just hypothetically, if it is this final, Silky, who's taking it all and why?
The hypotheticals, man. It's interesting. I don't really know how I want to go with this one. Oh, you know what? I don't know, man. This is a best of 5 series. It's going to be pretty intense. I think it's going to go to 5 games. I'll say that to start. I really think that these two teams, only seeing them go against each other twice in the regular season is kind of a travesty. Such good teams, really. We don't know how to really gauge them because I'm gonna say it's a bit of a drop. You know, we've got our top 2 teams, and from then on, it's a bit of a gap between the next kind of tier of teams there. So I think these two powerhouses, really anything could happen. We've got such good players on both sides. I'm gonna give it. I don't want to.
You know what? If you don't want to answer this,
No,
I'm not. Because I'm thinking, and I'm like, I honestly don't know who to give it to. I mean, their series was like just the way the game split.
Yeah.
You know what? If you don't want to answer, I'll let you cop out. But
I'll be a man. You know what? Cop out. When have you known me to cop out here? I'm starting to like pace in my chair because it's such a decision.
Don't worry. I'll attest to you not copying because our Tilter feed segment, my feed segment, is on you, buddy.
Oh, okay. How about you break it down a little bit, and if you want to make your prediction, that's fine, or you can wait. I just want to mill this over. I'll hear your side, your discussion.
All right. I am gonna go above and bold. I am gonna say it is going to be a 3-2 for Vismajor. You may disagree with me. I mean, that's fair.
I may not disagree with you.
You may not disagree. And as solid as TMI looks, they're very smart in pick ban. They play very strategically. It's just I'm basing off of what I saw last series. And I am basing that off of 4 was so dominant in that jungle, it affected the entire map. We saw game 1, Vismajor got a very early lead. They ended up kind of throwing by getting very aggressive, and we saw TMI pull themselves back into the game by very smart plays. They had very good team fighting. It was a very close game. Now go to game 2. Vismajor so dominant in that game 2 that I just think all these games are going to be absolutely close. Don't get me wrong, but just seeing how dominant they were in that second game of that series and seeing how TMI being undefeated up to that point looked kind of baffled in that game once they kind of just got so early pressured. It was rather scary. They didn't really know. It didn't really look how they knew how to pull themselves back into that game, and they just ran it home. But I'm not going to say that, because of that one dominant game, it's going to be like a 3-0 or 3-1 because I'm counting TMI at all. They are a very strong team. They're very smart strategically, and they have a very good pick ban. I just think if VM can show up as good as they did in that one game, they can bring it home. I'm going to say 3-2 VM. That is the final. I'm going to give the finals to VM 3-2.
All right.
That's fine.
We're bringing it back to the Silkmeister here. I've had some time to think about it, and it has kind of slipped my mind a little bit, Dazaninator. Maybe it slipped yours too. Remember that patch 6.9 has not hit yet. We've been playing this whole season on it's kind of developed into a little bit of a tanky meta here during the end of the season, but we got to remember the mid-season mage update is hitting live just a week and a little bit before the finals, Blake, and I think this kind of throws a wrench in all our predictions. I think we're basing our predictions off of what we know, which is perfect, but man, just thinking about the midseason mage update, that could change everything. It's going to be
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
see, that's what I wanted to actually talk about. Hold on
We'll
to
get
that because
into
we'll
it.
talk about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be so much adapting. So my predictions, like, I guess I could just make a prediction. Then my cop out is, you know what, midseason mage update. Didn't see it coming. So I'm actually going to go 3-2 TMI. I'll go 3-2 TMI on this one. It's a gut. I have my gut is telling me that actually Viz Major might be able to take it, but my like brain and like thinking about it, all the methodical, taking all the stats, just from what I see, it's telling me TMI. So I'm gonna follow my brain on this one. Uh, they've just been such a good team in preparation. They care a lot, and it shows. They pick lots of random stuff, but it's not really random. You know, they played Scion mid. Well, there's a reason because they thought it fit into their comp and it countered the other team's composition. I think they really put a lot of thought into their pregame picks. Unfortunately, I think that we'll see it in the finals where they kind of they think about it a lot. They pick these weird things, and I think maybe it'll nip them in the butt a little bit. They really aren't afraid to pick these random kind of champions that no one else thinks about. And I think maybe it could be exploited a little bit by VM. They're such a good team. I think they're going to find maybe the holes in their thought process for TMI. But overall, I think just such a solid team from top to bottom. I think help me. I know you said he was maybe just like the weaker, but I honestly I don't even know that. I don't even know. I don't think they have a weak spot. I think they're just such a well-rounded team. I couldn't say who the strongest is. I couldn't say who the weakest is. I couldn't even. I think they're all the same playing field. They're all just generally good players. They can play a lot of stuff. So I think that flexibility is going to allow TMI to take this one 3-2 in the long run.
All right. I respect that. I respect that.
You hear
Look,
what I'm
and
saying?
I'll pick that up, but yeah, like no, like I just want to be like I'm not taking shots that help me. The guy's a very good player. Like
Oh yeah,
I was just saying, in a strong team, I just feel like he may be the weakest part of a strong team, but that does not mean he's a bad player or
right.
by any means. Yeah, okay, okay. As long as we got that clear. So now that we kind of got the matches broken down, let's go over the event. I mean, some people are a little unsure, so let's just break it down for you guys. So May 14th, live at the Sandman Hotel. That is where it's going to go down. So I believe we will have the two semifinal matches. It will be, I'm not sure which one we will do first. Most likely, I'm going to say it will be first versus fourth, then second versus third. So I believe it will be TMI first versus Fellowship of the Nerds, and then Miss Major versus Lunatic Peace.
I believe you're
And
correct.
then following those two matches, we will have to have the third, fourth place match because this year I believe our $6,000 prize pool is spread between the top four teams.
Yes.
So third and fourth do make a difference in the prizing. So that game will have actual repercussions. I know last year, not nearly as much, and that was kind of a toss up. You're like, So we gotta make sure there actually is a point of doing that. So third, fourth place match will also be Saturday night. So it'll be up to 9 games. You guys can either watch from live or just watch from Twitch. Either way, really great to support. But we'll have 9 games going on that Saturday. So then the Sunday, we will have the finals. So sorry, I guess I should go over that as well. We will have those will all be best of threes on Saturday. So the two semifinals as well as the third, fourth place matches, those will all be best of threes. Then Sunday we will have the live finals for whoever advances from the semifinals, and that will be a best of 5 series. And that will be the only matches taking place there. Saturday night, however, we will have a little bit of an SKL after party. I mean, we'll find a spot, kind of get everyone going. The place is tentative so far, trying to lock something down.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Anabar not going to be open, so we won't be able to do it there, but we will make sure we have a place and let everyone know where it will be so that you can attend. As far as Mo Money things, I do believe that is correct. I believe the prize pool is split 50. Oh, help me out, Silky. Is it 50, 20, 10, 5? All right, he's
Sorry.
not.
No, sorry. I was here. I muted my mic. We got
Okay,
our boy
15
Cadence on the
to
side.
25.
Yeah, yeah.
But I believe that is what we are doing. So that will definitely work. And then, yeah, so we will try and have some kind of after party for you guys. Make sure to come check it out. Keep posted. Just kind of come out, hang out with everyone who's going to be live at the event there, the teams, the players, the, spectators. Just come out and have a good time before Sunday's finals. But, I mean, we got to stay responsible at the same time. I mean, people might have to play in the morning.
I mean, after a long day of casting and playing, we've got the possibility of 9 games on Saturday. Why not, just go out, we'll unwind with a couple brews. Like you said, I don't think we'll be going to the Scuzz or anything like that. So we're not going to, party up and absolutely I mean, some people might want to go pass out the night before they have to play, but, that's not me. We're going to tentatively, like Blake said, have a place locked down in the next couple days or by next week for sure. And we'll let you guys know. I really want to see you guys. We've met some teams, some players, a couple viewers over the past, and it's an absolute blast to meet you guys. It's so rewarding. You guys see us, but we don't know you, but you know us, so we get like a little bit of a tingly feeling, like, ooh, we're like little mini celebrities. They know us, but we don't know them because you guys see us on the regular, and we make a goddamn fool of ourselves. But it's fun. It's fun to meet you guys as well.
Exactly. And I guess so. If you guys have any questions about the finals, make sure you're throwing them in Twitch chat. I know I'm looking. I'm sure Selkie's keeping on that Twitch chat. We'll try and answer as many of the questions you guys have about the finals or anything else. So make sure to hit us up with those. If you guys have anything SKL related, even not, we'll try and answer them. But I think the biggest thing we have to address is like you were saying earlier, is the mid-season mage patch. Unfortunately, we did not see this coming. So it was kind of hard to plan that our
Well,
finals would actually be
yeah.
the week and after.
Disclaimer. We were first. We had to plan our finals in advance, and Riot just like willy nilly, like, oh yeah, I think we're gonna throw it the week after the SKL we're gonna throw it the week before SKL finals. We're gonna put probably the biggest patch of the entire season out. Just like
Yeah.
you guys figure it out. It's okay. It's only like a quarter of League of Legends champions that are affected. No big deal.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing is I know a lot of people have been asking, well, what are we going to do about the champions that are being reworked? I mean, there are quite a few. If I forget any, pick me here. So we got Brand, Cassiopeia, Vel'Koz. Oh goodness,
Zyra,
here Zyra, Vlad Malzahar. I believe Ziggs is receiving some changes.
Oh,
Anivia.
there's like 10 other besides the main 6 that are receiving like minor but still like pretty important changes. So it's gonna be crapshoot.
And it's just so much. And besides that, they also have a ton of items. All of the AP items are really being reworked.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is I know a lot of people have it. Oh, Fiddlesticks as well. Thank you. But a lot of the big things is people have been asking, well, are we going to not allow some of these champions? But the problem with this mage update is that would take away half the mid laners. And because all of the items are being reworked as well, I don't really think we can say, all right, no one's allowed to use any of these new items as well. No one is allowed to play any of these mages. I mean, we're going to definitely have to look into this. But as far as I'm concerned, Silky, I don't think there's anything we could really do before this mage patch hits to really ban champions away. I know when champions get reworked, as Taric won't be able to be played until the finals. That new champion, Aurelion Sol, was banned. There's not really much we can do with this mid-season patch. I know there is a possibility of maybe getting a tournament realm, playing on the patch behind. But, SKL, we're kind of a big deal, but I don't know if we're that big of a deal.
Yeah.
To secure a tournament patch. So I believe we're just going to have to leave it to adaptation.
And that's, I think we all agree we'd prefer to play on 6.8 instead, just kind of like let the teams prepare instead of having them scramble. But my God, it's going to be such a gong show and like a clown. The games are going to be so crazy because we'll be casting things that we only have known about for a week or been seeing being played or played ourselves for a week. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be all hell, but God, it's gonna be a good time. So whether the teams like it or not, that's the way it is. Unfortunately, League of Legends is all about adapting, and this is like the ultimate of that. This is You watch like the world's tournament, all of a sudden like a couple champions all of a sudden are being played, and all of a sudden, within the tournament, you see stuff that's really OP, and then it becomes pick ban. And we're gonna have our own like little worlds here. People are gonna be finding the mages that are OP within the tournament, within the best of series, and that champion is gonna be like pick ban. So it's gonna be hella exciting.
Yeah, it'll be a lot. I mean, for teams to take in, it'll be a lot of research for us as well. I mean, we're gonna have to play around. We're gonna have to find out all these new changes, how they affect the game necessarily. Because I mean, it's not even the champions that are being changed. It's also Dragon Buff, which I know a lot of people are a little distant about because of a little bit of the RNG that works towards it. But I'm kind of looking forward to the Dragon Buffs. I think it's going to add a new, interesting aspect to the game. But I guess we can give a bit of a breakdown as far as that is. There's 4 new elemental dragons. We've got Earth, Air, Wind. Oh wait, sorry, Earth, Air, Water, and Fire dragons. All of these give a certain type of buff depending on the element you have. Air buff gives your team increased movement speed out of combat. Earth giving your team better siege. I believe it gives you better damage against structures and epic monsters such as Baron. I believe jungle camps as well, and turrets, inhibitors such that. Fire Dragon giving you stats. I believe it's AP and AD, or is it just a burn?
I don't know. I'm on the website right now. It doesn't really give me much.
All right, you found that. And then water. Water is health and mana regen. So it's kind of pick or choose. Once you've killed that, it gives you the buff for your team for that. I believe these dragons randomly spawn, so it's never sure. Well, one dragon always spawns in the same timers. It's just which dragon will spawn that is kind of the RNG based. So it's more of pick and choose what's important to your team comp and what works well with your team and what's worth trying to deny from the enemy team. After that 35-minute mark, the Elder Dragon spawns, which doesn't have any of these 4 elements to it. It is harder to kill, but it gives a greater buff, giving you a true damage ability and enhances all of the previous buffs you've collected from the elemental dragons. So the dragon thing is it's a new priority on the map. I mean, if TPing bot wasn't already a goddamn nuisance being a bot lane, these new dragons I feel like are going to add all new things to it, and it's gonna be really interesting to see how teams adapt and prioritize these new dragons.
It's going to be really interesting, Dazaninator. I feel like just a couple of the dragons will probably be more popular than the other ones, and will be really worth fighting for. I feel like Fire Dragon, of course, is kind of like a gimme. It gives you better damage in team fights. I believe it does give ADAP. Champion killing power. Like, you need to kill other champions to win the game. So I feel like that one's like a must-have. The other 3, it's kind of hit or miss. I feel like Earth Dragon will probably be another one that's really strong. The Water and Air one, I think, will be a little bit less popular just because they don't really give combat stats. Based on the numbers, though, like, this could all change, of course. Air Dragon gives you out of combat movement speed. If the movement speed isn't that much, I think this one's going to be not really worth fighting for all that much. But, if it's a lot, if it's really noticeable and your whole team's zipping around, frick, why not go for the Air Dragon then? It all comes down to the numbers. So
yeah, I agree with you. I think that Water Dragon would be pretty good. I mean, it depends on the comp. I mean, if you're running some kind of siege comp where you're going to be poking a lot or trying to, or against a siege comp, trying to get the sustain for your health bars. But I agree with you. I think it'll be the numbers, because if it's really not that big of a difference between the health and mana regen you get from that, yeah, I'm not sure it's really worth risking a 5v5 where you get completely aced over a useless buff. So I agree with you in that case, where I don't think those 2 will be as popular.
Yeah, but that kind of all changes as well, because Elder Dragon, automatically doubles or whatever it does to all your previous dragons. So it's like kind of like you want as many as you can have before that Elder Dragon spawns, because then it doubles all that. So then it doesn't really even matter if it's fire or not. If you have the ability to fight for it, and you can position your team to try and contest a water dragon, then it might be worth it, because when the Elder Dragon hits, all those previous dragons all of a sudden matter that much more. So it's going to make it really, really interesting.
This patch is going to be very big, and I mean, especially items. They removed WOTA, so there's pretty much no sustain coming out for AP mages really anymore. Like,
not that anyone built that either.
No, I mean, it was mostly just like Vladimir, and I mean, the champions who did use it were complemented in their kits. So that was good. But I mean, the itemization I think is going to be a huge thing because mana regen really isn't a thing anymore.
Yep,
I
that's
mean,
right.
a lot of the items just give you flat mana, or I believe what is the new thing? It's kind of mana. It's not mana regen's not really a stat, but it's more of a passive where it's, if you have less health than, like, I know Chalice, if you have less health than you do mana, you get increased health regen. If you have less
Yeah,
mana than health, you get increased mana regen. And there's like dealing damage refunds mana, so it's not really passive mana regen anymore. There's different ways to get mana back. It's just not solid mana regen. They reworked a lot of the items. So it's going to be a huge thing to adapt to. So I feel like the mid laners, that's where you're really going to have to be looking.
yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be a huge patch. I'm looking big time forward to it. I know. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows. I'm a kind of a Ziggs one trick pony in that mid lane, kind of my boy, and I'm definitely looking at these new items like I don't know what the hell I'm going to build anymore. But I mean, I do like that sweet buff to give them that new siege potential with that execution to turrets with satchel charge. That'll
That
be
is broken.
at least it scales with level. I've been told the base is 25%,
That
but you won't
alone is
really hit.
broken.
Yeah, but you won't get it gets to 35% once you've maxed satchel charge. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's really worth maxing over your bouncing bombs or your minefield. Sorry, I won't get into this. People probably don't care about Ziggs, but
Well,
I
I
mean,
I have actually a feeling that siege compositions are going to be a thing we see a lot, especially with the resurgence. I don't know if this will stay with like Nidalee is kind of in that top tier along with Graves Kindred. That's a great siege poke composition right there. Caitlyn has seen a lot of play. Azrael's still around, so I have a feeling that we might see the Ziggs of the world come into
oh
play here with the mid-season update.
yeah, a quick question for you actually.
Oh,
Um, is the new Jungle Devourer item going to be in 6.9 where
the
they get rid of the
blood,
stacks?
the blood razor. Ah.
Blood Razor in the 6.9 patch?
Here I'm on the League of Legends site, but I'll check the surrender at 20 and see if I can find the Blood Razor. Um, I can't really see it.
Okay, because
If
I
someone could
mean,
tell us in Twitch chat if you have it on, just if you know, let us know here. We'll keep it on Twitch
'cause I mean
chat.
that's also going to change the meta in the jungle a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, just a
Because I
little
mean,
bit, because those
I
kind of I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Kindred is the only one top tier that really built Devour right now. Besides, because people aren't really playing competitively like Yi, Shyvana, stuff like that. Only Kindred was really touched, but she's actually gonna get really buffed by this item. I think they're gonna have to touch her kit. I think they are nerfing her Q a little bit, or her W rather, but it just gives you on hit magic damage. It doesn't scale up or anything. It just gives it attack speed and gives you that on hit magic damage. And I don't think it gives you percent health, or it might. But is from what I've heard, it's just going to be a straight kindred buff to get that item on her. So that's only the champion affected, but it's going to be a huge effect. So
Yeah, I mean it's kind of fun. I guess I'll take a bit of a thing. Me and Silky actually going to the Regina Expo last weekend, and it was kind of fun. We spent a lot of time talking League, which is rather funny because we ended up staying with DXI Edge. If you guys don't know,
yeah,
he's the analyst for TMI. Housed us there for for our weekend. Anyways, ended up running into a fellowship of the nerds, talked with them a little bit, and run into some of the RDS guys. We ran into some Milidon. So I mean, it's kind of fun. We ended up talking League with DXI Edge, ton of stuff with this new patch. So it's really been nice actually discussing some of this. So it's kind of all right touching on this. But I mean, as far as this, okay, we did hang out with Ceremony as well. Well, Bernard and I, hardcore SKL fan girl. But I mean, as far as we go, I don't really know if there's anything else really to touch on for the finals. Mid-season patch
uh,
going to be big. Anything else that you can really think of, Silky? I think we
not.
covered it all.
I think we pretty much covered it all, man. We gave our predictions. We ran down the midseason update here. Beer night, but that is
Oh,
not the
we will go over that.
playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we'll
will.
get into that. Come. we got cadence talking in our ear here. Come on, man. Give us a little credit. I know you don't need to give us a whole lot of credit because we don't deserve it, but just a little bit from time to time to
Oh,
keep our.
so it does come out this patch. It just sounds like Dynasty. Whoa, okay. I was thinking a shot at Sarah. I was just saying she definitely likes to. She's in Twitch chat. Okay. Oh, whoa, not
Get
trying to be rude. My bad. My bad. I just meant she's always in SKL, and we ended up. Yeah, she hung out with us. Okay, time out.
also
Sorry, that
also
was.
Crafty Buckeye noting that I'm in it. I'm actually in Crafty Buckeye's room right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm rambling traveling caster right now, so I'm actually staying in his room while he's back in his hometown in Alberta there. So I'm actually staying here for a few days, and he
Is Big Booty
noticed
Bodie looking behind you?
he is there. The door's closed. Door's closed, but
Oh, sorry.
he's
Oh, okay. I thought I could see a shadow behind you. I'm like, is he lurking back there? But
no. Big
okay,
Booty
okay.
Bodie makes his residence a couple doors that way. He's straight that way, but he's actually not home right now. But we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, we're getting off topic
Let's
here,
keep it
but
let's
okay.
keep
I
it
mean,
nailed down.
as far as that goes, yeah, make sure to check out the finals. And like we said, if you guys have any questions, especially the players, if you are looking to go to the venue, make sure to let us know. I mean, feel free to stay at the Sandman. I believe they are giving discounts if you are going to be at the finals. You need a room. Definitely get in contact with someone at SKL. I'm sure we can let them know you're part of SKL. I believe they have room discounts for you. But as far as that is, finals May 14th, 15th, Saskatoon, TMI, BM, Lunatic Peace, and Fellowship of the Nerds going to be our playoff teams. They will be there live. Definitely come check it out. As far as that is, guys, make sure to come check out our. I mean, we have our beer night coming up. That's kind of exciting.
Yep.
That's going to be next Saturday at the Hose and Hydrant. That's going to be from 8 till 10 p.m. It's $15 a ticket. You can get a ticket online. You can buy them from any of us. I mean, what else? You can get a ticket from us, get online. You can buy it at the door as well. It's pretty
Yeah.
much all you could drink beer for 2 hours, $15. Just come hang out, bring your friends. Like we've said time and time before, it's a social event. It's not going to really be league related. You can come meet us, meet the other people part of the team. Bring your friends, come have some drinks. That's what it's about.
The
Night
best
of being.
the best
Go
part
ahead.
about this beer night, Blake, sorry to cut you off there, is that we don't have anything to cast or play the next day. So I mean, like all restrictions are off right there. All bets are off. You got 2 hours of beer to drink that you are unlimited after you buy your ticket. So like, let's go. Let's freaking go, boys. Let's get
It's
sloppy.
done at 10 o'clock. It's done at 10 o'clock, right? So that's just the pre-night. I mean, you
Let's
still
get sloppy, boys. Let's go.
that
I'm
hour.
fired up.
Saturday.
Let's go. Let's freaking go.
So make sure you guys check that out. I mean, like I
Uh,
said, yeah, need a ticket, door, website, contact one of us. We're all carrying tickets. And I mean, don't think we're getting off easy. I bought my ticket. Have you, Soki?
I bought it, dude. I'm holding the tickets, dude. I've got them right now.
Yeah, I'm looking. You better have them in your hand when you say that on stream. But okay, as far as the beer night goes, I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on, or should we kick it
Or
off
should we?
with the old tilter feed here?
I've got nothing else to say really. Just make sure you get your tickets from us. It helps out a lot if you get them beforehand, but of course you can get them at the door. But just let us know so we can kind of get a general sense of the numbers, who else all coming, and stuff like that. So it's really easy to get a hold of any of us. If you're in Saskatoon, we can just meet up and sell you the hard copy tickets, and of course you can get them online, like Blake said. That's all easy. You just go to our website. I think it's all on there. It's all simple, pretty easy to do. So just come out and have some fun, and it goes to a good cause as well. There's some stuff to win there. I think we're gonna have 50-50 and possibly giveaways at this beer night at the Host and the Hydrant. It's a great little bar there. Not really little. It's got 2 floors. It's got the bottom floor, which is really that bar feel. It's got a bunch of booths. You got a bunch of tables. The bar there. Then the top floor is just a dance floor, a couple booths, another bar. It's really cool. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cool venue. Gotta come out and see it. But as far as that, I mean, let's end this off on the old tilter feed here. I mean, we probably won't have a Dazzles till after finals. We might have one next weekend, but I mean, and probably we'll wait till after we get to break down the finals here. So let's do a nice little tilter feed. So Silky, I mean, I know you got to see me over the weekend, so that's probably your feed. But what fed you? What tilted you this week?
Oh boy. You know what? This week Are we gonna start? Are we start with like tilted, and then we'll both say what fed us, or I forget. I've been
You know what?
gone.
Let's start with the negatives. Let's
The
tell me what
negatives.
tilted you.
Let's get them out of the way. All right, negatives. I think today very evidenced by the fact that I was almost late. I actually was a little bit late coming here today because I have been freaking moving. As you guys can see, I am currently in Crafty Buckeye's room, but starting in a couple months here, I will be on the other side of this wall. This is going to be my room over there. I'm going to be living with the boys. I'm moving in, but unfortunately, with moving, uh, you got to move. I got a lot of shit. It's got to go. It's got to come here. It's got to go back to my place in Moose Jaw. So what tilted me this week is goddamn moving. I hate it. I've done it 4 times in the last 4 years. I've had a new place every single year. God, I freaking hate moving. If you ask me to move and I'm your friend, you got better well have some cold beer with you because I will not do it otherwise.
Wait,
But
so is that why you didn't ask me to help you move? Because you weren't willing to give me cold beer?
no. Like me and
I'm
my
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Dazaninator was offering his services to me, I would have asked you, but my brother was helping me with my beds and stuff. He's got a big truck with straps, so that was all taken care of. But just like the little things, I just brought all my food from the fridge over here, freezer stuff, uh, all of my clothes, just little things that I can take care of my own. It's just so tedious, and then cleaning the old place, and then coming to the new place. It's also a little tilting. It's no one's fault, but the reason I'm in Crafty's room is because there's actually someone still living in there, but they're paying rent, so I can't really complain. But that just means I don't really have a place to put my stuff for now. It's all in the basement. But I've been talking for too long, Blake. I've let you maybe get a little of your tilt. Get it ready. Hit
I
me with
think
your
it's
hit me
really
with your
funny.
tilt.
I think it's really funny because actually my tilt is pretty much the same as yours. I actually
Oh,
also have to move the end of next month, and I'm stressing because
where
I've
you
got a
where you
couple.
going?
That's the thing is I've been offered a place to stay, but we're not sure if it's gonna pan out. So kind of been stressing, making trying to find somewhere. I gotta find somewhere to sleep. I don't want to sleep on the road outside, so I gotta make sure I lock something down here.
Yep.
Um, as far as that's really the only thing tilting me this week. I had a pretty solid week. I
Wow.
don't really know if there's
It's
anything else
always
that really tilted me.
it's
Well,
always a good
I
week
mean,
when,
it's
when
it's
nothing
pretty
tilts you.
stressful. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of been tilting me for a little while. Definitely trying to make sure I can find. I do have a couple of options. I mean, you're in one of them right now,
Yep.
so
I'm
I might
living
have
it,
to
dude.
sub.
It's great in here. He's got a lot of Kleenex, but that might not be the case. For those of you with dirty
might
minds, stop right now. Dirty minds. You can hear me. I'm sniffly mittens right now, and the
I
springs.
was just about to make a comment,
I
but
know
I
you. I
decided.
know you were. I know where your mind goes sometimes, dude. But I'm sniffly mittens. The spring allergies are hitting hard. So it's the moral of the story is
That's kind of tilts me. The other thing that kind of tilts me is, I mean, it's not like a big tilt, but why round two of the Eastern playoffs are starting for NHL when the West playoffs aren't even done yet? I mean, the Ducks have Game 7 still to go, and round two of the
quack
Eastern Conference
quack quack
starts.
quack quack
I know, and I
quack
know
quack.
you're a big Ducks fan, so I imagine you're trying to hold
I
out
don't
for
I
that.
don't have my duck sweater, but it's in the other room there. But I'll be wearing it.
It's Game 7 tomorrow.
Game seven's tonight, my man. I think it had. If I'm not mistaken, it's already.
Actually, yeah, that's the other thing it tells me is my parents' internet is garbage. That's why I don't have video tonight. It's a turn. I'm on my way to Calgary Expo,
Hey,
but
hey, but
I
there's
can't. I
no.
can't take shots. My parents take care of me, and he's watching the game right now. I kicked him out of the good living room because that's where I'm doing this podcast right now. He's watching the TV in the other room. So
There
good,
you
good
go.
on Pop Dad Zaninator to take
Dazaninator. That
care of
is the
that.
best nickname for a father I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
But
he gave birth to a legend. But okay, well, past the point of tilt, we got to get to what fed us. And you know what? I'm gonna start this because you know what,
all right.
Silky, you were my boy. All right, so this weekend we had an encounter with Fellowship of the Nerds. We ended up meeting up with them when we were
Ah,
at Regina. So we were having some drinks. We just had to play some beer pong. And so while we were playing beer pong, I don't know if you guys know, but a while back I actually made I had a money match versus Baby Trog on some Smash on my stream. I ended up beating him barely. He ended up owing me $20. He paid me that $20 because he's a good guy. So we're playing beer pong, and he actually bets $5 that Silkymittens will not make a beer shot. And I mean, Silky's my boy. And I looked at Baby Truck and I said, I bet you 20 that Silky shot. And I threw my 20 that I had recently just won from that money match on the table. And he said, will he make the shot or he will make the game winning shot? And I said, no, he will make this shot right now. And you know what? He agreed to it. We put $20 down. And the pressure was on Silky. All the pressure was on Silky. And you know what he does? He makes that shot. And he fed me because I put all of my faith in my boy, and he made the shot.
You know what? That also tilted me slightly, but I still love you, Blake. But it tilts me. It was like a little tilt. I didn't care. I was like half drunk or whatever. But like the pressure, all of a sudden it was on my shoulders. Like, oh my god, this is like a $20. Like Blake could lose his money here. Like we're talking $20. That's a lot on one beer pong shot. But then I felt your faith. The CLG faith age just seeped into me, and I was like, I was gonna hit that shot. There's no way it was missing.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
There's no way.
You wouldn't let me down. Oh, you know what else tilted me? Quick for Gen Expo. Couldn't find the 2 Pop Funkos I wanted. All right, continue. Now what fed you?
What fed me? You kind of stole mine a little bit. I was just gonna say that trip to Regina, going to the Fan Expo in Regina as well. The night before, of course, was the exact same night that Blake was talking about. We were hanging out with some of the Fellowship of the Nerds guys. DXI Edge was there as well, the analyst for TMI. Ceremony, a great viewer. She was hanging around with us too, and it was just like a great time with not a whole lot of people. But we were just chilling, playing, drinking games, having a good time. I had the best beer pong game of my life, probably. I hit the $20 shot, but just moments before that, start the game off, Blake hits a shot, and they still have all their cups. He hits a shot, and it's the back center cup. And then and then everyone was egging me on. You got Baby Truck on the other side. He's swearing and yelling at me, obscenities. He's called my mittens unsilky. I was like, pardon me? So I say this. I say, you know what? I don't even need to watch to hit the shot. So I just like swag. This could have went terribly. I cover my eyes, close my eyes, and boom. I hit it the exact same cup that Blake hit. The 5-cup explosion. It was just everyone was going nuts. It was sick, okay?
I think people need to, this was our first shot of the game too. I first shot, I sing it, first shot, you sing. And you know what the most impressive thing was? I don't think people understand. We weren't even playing with ping pong balls. We had no ping pong balls. We were playing with cat toys. They were little they weren't even like yarn balls. What the heck were they? They're
like little plastic balls with like bells inside of them. Don't worry. Also, we weren't using like our actual drinks. They kind of just renovated their basement, so we were using just cups of water, and then we had our drinks on the side. Say what you want, but that was just like the cleanest way for their newly renovated basement. So we were throwing the cat toys into cups of water that we weren't actually drinking. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting. It was not too bad at all. So I props. We slayed it that night, and that was both of our feeds. So I'm glad that worked out for us. But I mean, is that all that fed you? Is that it for you?
The end of allergy season will feed me as well, but I'll save that for next episode.
All right. Well, I guess that's really it, guys. Unless you have any other questions, throw them in Twitch chat. But I want to give a huge shout out to Cadence for running the stream tonight, as he can't really run a stream from my phone. So running the stream for us, appreciate that from the behind the scenes here. I want to thank Silkymittens, Sniffly Mittens today for coming on the show and helping me with this playoff preview breakdown on Dazzle's discussion here. Kind of a big episode. Sorry about the delay, guys. We just figured, you know what? Why do it on Sunday when we have 3 more games that are going to be huge, and just wait till the end of it? So get that broken down. When are you guys going to the Sandman? Well, I mean, I believe the setup will be Friday night. I believe we're going there possibly on the 13th to get everything set up. Yeah. So Friday the 13th is when we'll be setting that up. But
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, spook. But thanks, Silky, for coming on the show. Much appreciated for helping me break down. Makes it a little bit easier to.
A little bit sweeter. Yeah, it's always great being on the show here. I can always look forward to kind of being like one of your semi-regulars onto the show. It's really great hanging out with you. I know I hang around with you there's enough already, but it's always good to sit back, shoot the shit with some League of Legends talk, you know, and it's great to be here, man. So don't thank me. I am thanking you. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And of course, thank you guys for coming in with your questions. Thanks for definitely stopping by, being participating in Twitch chat. Always appreciate that. Definitely love that you guys come listen to us talk. I mean, we'd be here talking anyway, so it's a little more enjoyable to have a little conversation going on here. But huge, yeah. Thanks, guys, for coming out. As far as if you guys can set it up, I believe if the setup is there, you guys might be able to come check it out. Not entirely sure what time we'll get the room, but if you keep touch with us, I know you keep in touch with us when it gets a little closer to the event. We'll probably have a little better time gauge what time we'll be able to get in there and set up so that you guys can come check it out. I mean, I believe we have the room at 8 in the morning as well. I know that's pretty early, but you can probably come check it out in the morning, give it a test go. Want
Yeah.
to make sure everyone's comfortable and familiar with the setups. We do have wired connections. I guess that's one thing I want to make sure you guys know. We have separate wire connections from the rest of the hotel. We have hard lines dedicated for just the rooms with the computer and a separate line dedicated just for the stream. So we shouldn't have lag as an issue this year.
If we have lag as an issue this year, I will. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something. All right, I'll do something. I don't want to say something. I don't want to eat a sock. But I'll eat a really hot pepper on the stream if we have really bad lag. If we have a little bit of lag, like 2 or 3 pig,
if it's real bad, let's cast one of the games while eating ghost peppers.
Cast or else something. We'll figure something out. All right, I said it. It's on air. I'll eat something hot one time, and then we'll laugh at me. But we've also got money and competitive integrity on the line, so we're making damn sure that we can do our best to have the best internet. So there you go.
Exactly, because definitely. No, you guys weren't happy last year, neither were we. So gonna make the best we can. But thanks, guys, for everyone for tuning in. This has been Dazzle's discussions this week. Playoff preview. Make sure to check out the stream when we go live. Show up to our beer night. We will have a couple weeks off here, but definitely keep in touch. We will see you at the finals. Hopefully, I've been Blake Dazaninator. Have a good week. See you at finals.